Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Shane's Queenside. Today I'm actually addressing some YouTube inquiries that I've had from people who've purchased pianos and keyboards recently, and they're having trouble finding and trying to identify notes on the keyboard. So in other words, where exactly is C, where exactly is F, that sort of thing. And also they've been looking for advice on how to start playing chords. So today's video is all about the basics of identification of keys and notes on piano, and also how to create chords. I have a few tricks and tips, so please watch this video if you're only starting off your journey on piano. Now, so as you can see on the piano, we have a number of black and white notes, and they all seem to repeat in a very similar pattern. We have groups of 2 and groups of 3. So as you can see, we've got a group of 2 here, group of 3, group of 2, group of 3. So often the best place to start is middle C. And how exactly do you find C? Well, you find the group of 2 and it's the note in front of the starting point of the group of 2. So this note here is the note C. And likewise, this note here is also C, and up here we also have C as well, because it's the note in front of that group of 2. And normally you'll have middle C, which is here. You will know if it's not middle C, if it's lower, or if it's higher. So you'll get it there. So normally it's about halfway up and down your keyboard. So if you have, for example, a keyboard which has 61 keys, the C that's in the middle of that keyboard will be defined as middle C. So normally on a piano you'll find that mostly the C is halfway up the keyboard. So in relation to the notes themselves, this note is C, and then they go up alphabetically. D, E, F, G, A. So as you can see now, we've flipped around. So if we go down the way from C, C, B, A, and then we flip back to G. So it's a very unusual way. I know we're starting on C, but historically this is the first note, because obviously it's A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So as you can see, it's repeating in patterns. So when you get to G, we're flipping around back to A. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that is basically the scale of C. So if you're playing the scale of C, try and flip your thumb underneath. So let's try a basic scale. Flip the thumb under. And down the way. Now put your third finger over. And there you have it. That's the basic scale of C. Now, what exactly are we doing here? Think of the black notes as being whole steps. So from here to here is a half a step. So it's going up in a semitone. They're all semitones. Okay? So the scale is always going to be in the major key. Okay? The scale in the major key will always be starting off on the note that you're trying to start off on. So if, for example, in this case, we're starting the scale of C. Whole step, whole step, whole half step. So as you can see, we've gone whole step, a whole step, and this is only a half step because there's no black note. So let's try that as a scale and we'll explain it again. So we're going from the root. That's the first note of the scale, is always called the root. Whole step, thumb under, half step that is. Now another whole step, and a half step. So it's defined, the major scale is defined almost in the same retrospect as where these are here appearing. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And there you have a basic scale. So if someone says to you, will you play the scale of D? We can start off on the note D, which is here, and we remember whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So let's try that. Now a whole step, a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and a half step. So when you have time, look back at that scale, because we're going a whole step. So from D, a whole step up to here. One more whole step, which is 2 semitones, which is that one and that one. One more whole step, sorry, one half step to here. A whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and a half step. And down the way, we're going down a half step, and then we're going to do 3 whole steps, which is 1, 2, 3, and now a half step, a whole step, and another whole step. And that's a scale. So that's what scales are. There are a number of notes in series based on the actual key that you're in. So if you're in a minor key, it would be different. We're not going to touch minor keys today. We're just going to stay on major keys just to start the basics. So what exactly is a chord? So a chord is, it could be 2 notes, but normally it's 3 notes. And for example, the chord of C major, we're going to always have C in it. But the chord of C major is the first note, the third note, and the 5th note played together. So there you have the chord of C major. It's the first, third, and 5th notes of the scale. So watch the scale again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. Likewise, if we look at the scale of D, we can create the chord of D major by using 1, 3, and 5. There's the chord of D major. In E major, it began to be 1, 3, 5. So if anyone says to you, can you play the chord of C? You find the note of C, and then you try and remember what the 3rd and 5th notes of that scale are. Now you can, if you wish, move this C up here. That's called an inversion. You can then move this E up here. That's another inversion. And likewise, you can go down the way. There's your chord of C. If we want, we can move this G down the way. That's still the chord of C, it's just a different inversion. And the way you play things, when you're playing songs, inversions will be very important. So try and remember all the inversions. So you can go, they're all the key of C, just in different inversions. And likewise, we can do the chord of D. They're all different inversions of the chord of D. So they are some tricks to remember how to play scales and chords. Remember, if you're doing scales, on the scale of major scale, any key, doesn't matter what key you're in, it's always whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And you start off on your root. And for a major chord, it's always the 1st, 3rd, and 5th notes of those chords. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. And of course, we have some song tutorials coming up very, very soon. I do have a few songs ready to go. One of those is Bicycle Race, one of those is Don't Stop Me Now. I think you also have You're My Best Friend and a few other songs like that. All ready to go out. So please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again soon on Shane's Queenside.